Let's cross now once again to our colleague Nozintombi Miya for more information on the legal action President Cyril Ramaphosa and Sibanye Stillwater, formerly known as Lonmin, are facing. The civil claim is brought against them from their role in the tragedy where 34 mine workers at Marikana in the Northwest Province were killed when police opened fire on the striking workers. Nozintombi, what's the latest?
Thank you so much, Desiree. We are still waiting for the mine workers to make their way here to the Johannesburg High Court. We do know that the miners who have approached the High Court with their application of a civil claim left early in the morning from the northwest in Marikana to come here so that they can make a visual presence to support their case. But to talk a little bit more about the technicalities of the case and some of the issues that have come around the perceived bias of the judge, we do have the lawyer for those injured and arrested miners, Mr. Nozintombi. Andries, thank you so much for joining me. Andries, let's talk about why your clients have approached the court with this particular case.
The case that we had started was a case against the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, in his personal capacity, as well as against Lonmin, for Lonmin and the President to personally pay for the damages that took place in Marikana in 2012. Now, what we are saying caused the massacre is the email that the President made where he characterized the labor dispute as a criminal act, and he says the police must act with concomitant action. We are saying that is incitement, and therefore that is what caused the... And I think, ironically, you will learn that in the past week or so, we were part of a case in which somebody out of their own tweets had been arrested for incitement. We are saying if that can be incitement, a direct email, it should be even more of an incitement.
So that's the merits of some of the arguments you'll be making specifically with regards to current President Cyril Ramaphosa. But what argument will you be making against Sibanye, which was formerly Lonmin?
The understanding is that there had been a joint operation center which was created between Lonmin, the police, as well as the security companies which were there. And it was that caused the massacre. And that is the same argument that we still have.
We do know, though, Andries, that it was actually former Police Commissioner Ramaphosa and the Northwest Police Commissioner Mbombo and Pembe as well, who at that time had characterized the strike as a criminal strike. Shouldn't they be the ones that you also go against specifically in their personal capacity, because they also were part of the chain of custody?
The claims have been made against government, and that is being part settled. The government is saying, let's see it simply because we don't think we'll be able to succeed in court if we have arguments about this matter. So insofar as characters such as Ramaphosa and General Mpembe and Mbombo, we are saying they are supposed to be covered by the actions of the government. The only personally liable individuals is Cyril Ramaphosa, simply because we are saying the massacre took place as a result of a toxic collusion between state and capital. He stood in between the two bodies. He was able to, as a director of Lonmin, also as a shareholder, characterize this labor dispute and say it's a criminal act. And for that we are saying he should be personally liable.
All right, Andries, I can see behind us that the bus has started arriving. I'm going to ask my camera colleague Masabata to make her way towards there as we continue with our conversation. Desiree, the visuals that we're showing you right now is the visuals of the Marikana miners who've just made their way. They woke up early in the morning at about 7 o'clock, all the way from the northwest to make their way here. And we are continuing with our conversation with their legal attorney. Andries, while these visuals are playing over our conversation, how much are you asking for in redress for either the president, the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, in his personal capacity, as well as Sibanye Stillwater, which was formerly known as Lonmin?
Our damages are just over 1.1 billion rands. And we are saying we only also found out just now recently that the judge that's supposed to be hearing the excuses that the president and Lonmin have is also a part shareholder of the company, and therefore we are saying for that fact we are going to bring an application for his recusal, simply because he cannot sit and be liable for payment of the damages, and at the same time be also given the responsibility to adjudicate in matters that relates to these disputes.
So how will that affect the course of the case today? Will we see that the case is going to sit, or are you going to initially ask off the bat for the judge to recuse himself because you perceive him to not being impartial due to his the financial stake that he has in Sibanye Stillwater?
The argument that is made is that this matter may not proceed up until such time as the judge has heard our application that says he must recuse himself. We are saying he must recuse himself because there's no way in which on the one hand he can be liable for the payment of the damages, and on the second hand he should be a judge that hears this matter.
So if the judge does not recuse himself, what alternatives are you then going to do? And do you feel that that will give you a fair shake?
We will go and have the arguments made in front of the courts. We will take instructions as and when the judge makes a ruling there. But what we expect is that any fair judge would come to a conclusion that says they must recuse themselves.
Nozintombi, we're just going to leave it there. Desiree, you can see some of these visuals here. These are some of the widows of the injured and arrested miners that have made their way here to the High Court in Johannesburg, the South Gauteng High Court. And I'm just going to come over here to this gentleman, Nzutolo. He is one of the gentlemen that actually applied for this particular court case, and we're just going to speak to him, just his initial thoughts now that he's literally just gotten here. Hi, Butunjani. Thank you so much. What time did you guys get here? What time did you wake up to actually get here?
Isizathu ukuthi size sizogcina sisibona sizongena la ecourt ithemba lejustice kodwa ke asazi ngoba sithembela kuwo amajaji, so ngicabanga ukuthi amajaji umthetho ozosibona ukuthi lento siyizisile ukuthi izosisiza kangakanani, because kudala sifuna ijustice mara leyo justice le angeke size siyithole uma ngaba isizwe sasekhaya asibheki lentupheko sibhekene nayo, ngoba sikhuluma la ngopresident welizwe manje siphinde sikhulume futhi nge-private company. So i-private company iyona into efike ibe nzima kakhulu ngoba ngabantu abaphethe imali bonke, thina singabantu abaphuwa. And ubuhlungu bami obukhulu ukuthi siyayazi ukuthi amajaji amaningi bayakwazi ukuthi bawanike something ukuthi izinto zingahambi ngendlela esicabanga ngazo, but ngingadumala uma ngaba ngenzeka ukuthi kanti le case ibe nenkinganyana ngendima yokuthi ngendima yamajaji, because thina abantu bahluphekayo sinethemba lethu iba semajajini bona abantu abamele umthetho wesizwe. So ngizama ukuthi namhlanje ngi-excited because ide yangena icase ekudala nami ngiyifuna ukuthi ingene, bese ekugcineni abantwana abazoza ekugcineni kwethu bakhona ukuthi bazi ukuthi yini kahle kahle le sasiyishayelwa futhi iyini into ebangela ukuthi side sibulawe kangaka. So ngibonga kakhulu ukuthi izongena namhlanje, kodwa kubuhlungu ukuthi siyacela ukuthi amajaji ayibhekisise le ndaba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tolo, one of the Marikana miners that was a participant in the tragedy that we saw in 2012. Saying that he's hoping that justice will be served. He is concerned about the judge having a perceived personal bias in the case, and he's hoping that the legal system will come into play and the judge will do what he perceives as his right to ensure that they get a justice in the end. Desiree, we will be giving you updates as the day progresses. You have seen that the miners themselves have just arrived. We do know that the South Gauteng High Court is limiting movement in and out of the court. So what is expected is that the miners will be expecting to be here outside the front of the court, and they won't be able to get access in while the virtual hearing is continuing. Desiree.
Nozintombi, thank you so much.